this, so hold on, let me just fix this real quick. Don't fuck it up. There we go. Yeah, it is Monday night, so in this video I'm going to be doing my NFL Week 4 recap. I am doing it during, or kind of as the two Monday night games are finishing up, but I feel like I can say with pretty good level of confidence that the game's scores, as they are now, are probably going to continue through the end of the game, so I'm just making the video. So, jumping right in. You know what? I brought back my, hopefully people still don't find this weird, but I have a night guard, and I have a, hold on, sorry, it makes, yeah, I have a night guard, so this is the case. There's nothing in there, as you can see, because I'm not weird, but gotta keep the teeth healthy and straight, you know. But yeah, so the Thursday night game, it was Seahawks and Cardinals. I actually thought this was a pretty fun game. It was relatively close. Well, it ended relatively close for most of the game. Seattle was just kind of in control, I think, going into the fourth. Let me see here. It was 17-6. So, you know, still a two-possession game, or two-touchdown game, I should say. But the fourth quarter, Arizona scored 14 points, but just was not enough to get it done. Sam Darnold played, I thought, pretty well, at least better than some of the other games I've seen from him this year. Kyler Murray was, well, he was getting hit. I think he got sacked 6 times. That's an oof. I think, you know, Marvin Harrison, people have been kind of giving him grief, but I still really like him. I think he's probably one of my favorite young receivers. So I feel like they'll figure it out. I hope so. But yeah, Kyler Murray, 27 of 41, 200 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 interceptions. So, you know, kind of a interesting game. They did play pretty well in that fourth quarter. So that's when it got really fun to watch. But otherwise, it was kind of, I thought it was okay overall. All right, moving on to the Sunday slate. I also have a comb, or a brush. I don't know. It's my girlfriend's. So there was actually a game internationally this week. It was in Dublin. It was the Vikings and the Steelers. Pretty fun game, actually. It started at for me on the East Coast, it started at 9:30. So I was like, cool, I got something to do this morning. While I was drinking my coffee, I was like, you know what, let's turn on a football game, which was kind of weird, but yeah, you know, again, Carson Wentz, you know, Minnesota's offense looked not great, which, you know, the Steelers, I thought, they're a better defense than who did they play last week? The Bengals. And, you know, I think Pittsburgh scored a touchdown in each quarter, except for the fourth, which they scored a field goal. It was still a close game. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I don't know. Most of the points for Minnesota came in the fourth quarter is what I'm seeing. 15 points in the fourth quarter. So, you know, I kind of figured the Steelers would win it. They're just a more complete team, kind of as is right now, in my opinion. But yeah. Anyways, Steelers over Vikings, 24-21. Next game. Well, this is in order of ESPN. I don't think it's next game. I think these were all the 1:00 games. Oh, this one pissed me off. Chargers and Giants in New York, or technically New Jersey, but whatever. Justin Herbert and the Chargers did not look good in this game. So it was Jackson. The big storyline was Jackson Dart. It was his first So I thought he played well. He had a rushing touchdown to start, and then I believe he had a passing touchdown in the third quarter. I think in the third quarter, yeah. Which was nice. And then I think he got like banged up a bit. So Russell Wilson came in for like, I think literally a snap. I heard some people booing in the crowd, and I was like, come on, that's a little messed up. But yeah, Justin Herbert, 2 picks, touchdown, 23 of 41, not great. I mean, they just did not look like the team that they have been the last couple weeks, especially against the Giants. My theory is, and I could be way off, but I think that if Russell Wilson would have been starting, well, okay, I think there's a lot of tape on Russell Wilson. He's been playing for, 10, 12 years at this point. It's Jackson Dart's first game, so, you have college film that you can prepare for, but you don't know how he's going to be in the NFL, so I think that has something to do with it, or, offensively, they were or the Chargers on defense were struggling to find ways to, I guess, contain, an unknown, but even on defense, they did not look that great. At least I didn't think they did. Cam Scatabo, however you say his name. Look, I think the hard-nosed rushing style is really fun to watch. But knowing what we know about CTE, this man is hunting for brain damage at the age of 24, which is crazy. I mean, every single time I see him with the ball, he is putting his head down and spearing somebody, which is it's mind-boggling. And then he does a flip whenever he does anything big. I think the big storyline coming out of this game is that Malik Neighbors tore his ACL, which is once again going to launch an investigation or a query or whatever they call it, whatever bow they decide to wrap that, particular crap in, into the turf at MetLife. I feel like there's been 4 or 5 players that have gotten significantly hurt by just running. It's not even a hard tackle, or they're making a wrong cut or something, or they come down the wrong way. Literally just running and doing a simple motion, and they it messes them up. But yeah, anyways, it was fun. It came down to the wire, so it was an entertaining game, but it really messed up a bunch of my parlays and a bunch of my picks, honestly, overall. This was the one that I thought was for sure gonna hit, so I put it as kind of an anchor pick in most of my bets for this week. So I was trying to arbitrage it. Did not work. There was a lot of games this week that kind of messed me up that I did not expect was gonna go that way. Titans, Texans, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this game. I did not watch it very much. The Titans, in the words of Cam Ward, are ass. So, I don't know. I think that pretty much sums it up. The Texans have really struggled, and they blew them out 26-0. So, I think the Texans looked better. I think it's more a testament to their defense than their offense, to be honest. CJ Stroud, I think he did play a lot better. Looking at his stats and seeing some highlights, he looked like he was better, but they're playing the Titans, right? So the Titans are a bad team. If Houston's trying to be a playoff team this year, they gotta be better than what they're showing. You can blow out bad teams, but if you can't beat good teams, or you get completely destroyed by good teams, you're going nowhere but the lottery pick, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, yeah, 26 to big fat goose egg, 0. Oh, next game, this was another one that surprised me. It was fun to watch, but I was watching in awe. Commanders versus Falcons. that Jaden Daniels would be back for this game. I think he's coming back next week, though. But yeah, I mean, and coming out of last week's game for the Falcons were bad. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. looked terrible. Yeah, I mean, the Falcons came out strong, and just consistently held it. And, you know, it looked like Washington was coming back a little bit in, like, the third, fourth quarter. And then they just couldn't do it. Like, they couldn't catch up. So, I also had the Commanders, I think, winning this one, which evidently did not hold water. So, but yeah, Bijan Robinson looked like every single time he had the ball, I was like, oh my god, this dude is a for real running back. Like, this dude, I mean, he had a run where, I think it was his touchdown run, where he just like bulldozed two people and just hit the gap like a freight train. It was so fun to watch. This was probably one of my favorite games this week, but the Falcons ended up winning 34-27 at home. Pretty good game. Next game, Saints and Bills. It was a little bit closer than I was expecting, to be honest. I thought that the Bills would put up a lot of points. I mean, they put up 31. That's a pretty good amount of points, to be honest. But they gave up 19 to the Saints, which, I mean, is not what I was expecting. You know, Josh Allen, 16-22, 209, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And a rushing touchdown. So, yeah, that's a fairly good game, I think. I think that's pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, the Saints, like, I never really thought they were going to win this game. Buffalo put up 14 in the first quarter. Saints put up 7. New Orleans, like, closed the gap to 10 to 14. And then it just, like, slowly branched away for the rest of the game in the second half, which, you know, happens. But yeah, Buffalo advances to 4-0. I think there's 2 teams left. I think the Broncos are one of them. Who else is 4-0? I think there's one other team. Oh, there was a couple. Yeah, sorry, they lost though. But anyways, Bills won 31-19 over the Saints. Next game. This was another fun one. Eagles, Buccaneers, Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles. This is now another 4-0 team. So I think if the Broncos hold out their lead tonight, those are the only 3 teams that are remaining as undefeated, I believe. Yeah, this was a pretty good game. It was another game where I feel like they weren't passing the ball at all. I mean, A.J. Brown got, let me see here, he got 2 receptions for, he had 9 targets for 2 receptions and 7 yards. I don't know what's going on there, but I saw something that he posted, something on Instagram about, like, if people aren't listening to you, or some, like, motivational quote, or, like, self-help quote kind of thing. So I don't know what's going on there, but they're 4-0. Like, I mean, if you want to win games, it's the place to be. Jalen Hurts, pretty good game. 15-24, 130 yards passing is, I mean, it's fine, whatever. 2 passing touchdowns, so that's something. And then he had 62 yards rushing. Baker Mayfield, I thought, played pretty well against a pretty good team. The way that this game ended, I literally thought that the Buccaneers were going to have another week where they win off of the last drive of the game and get a touchdown. And then Baker threw a pick. And I was like, oh, damn, that would have been beautiful. But alas, the Philadelphia Eagles held on to the W 31-25 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. Let's see, next game. but also makes sense. So Jared Goff, pretty okay game, 16-27, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jahmyr Gibbs looked good, 15 carries, 91 yards and a touchdown. It's respectable. He had a big breakaway run for like 25 or 26, I think. Joe Flacco looked bad. He did not look good, but it's a good defense, and they don't really have a lot of offensive weapons. So I was expecting them to really struggle. I was surprised that they put up 10, to be honest. But that was rushing, and then I think they had a field goal in the third or fourth. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, I just think this Lions team is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I think I may have to do kind of a quarter season revision. If the Packers can't figure it out, man, oh my God. I think the Lions are gonna run away with this divisional title. I don't think the Bears or the Vikings are gonna do it, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Alright, next game. Panthers, Patriots. Patriots were blowing this team out of the water. Yeah, I mean, this was in Foxborough, and Drake May looked like really good. He was 14 of 17. So what is that, like an 88 or 90 completion percentage or something like that? Yeah, something like that. 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And he also had a rushing touchdown, so 3 total touchdowns. Bryce Young, honestly, didn't look horrible. 18, like, statistically. And then Andy Dalton came in, but yeah, I mean, this wasn't even a game. By halftime, I have like the YouTube TV, whatever. I had switched away from this game. I took it out of my multi-view. It was 28-6, and they were not looking like they were gonna put up any fight for the rest of it. And they didn't. The Patriots ended up winning 42-13. So pretty dominant victory there. Next game. This was a sleeper pick that I think I had in my picks video. Jaguars at 49ers. Jaguars at 49ers. This is just a funny game to me. So Brock Purdy looked okay. I'm not loving him. I'm really not. Granted, they have a ton of key injuries up and down their roster, so I think that really obviously inhibited their game, and will inhibit their season for sure. But yeah, he 22-38, 309, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, which, I mean, it's not the worst stat line you can have. It's not the best, but it is what it is. I will say I was really surprised that rushing the ball, they could not move it, to be honest. Like Christian McCaffrey, 17 carries for 49 yards. That ain't gonna get it done. I mean, didn't look great. Did not look great on the rushing. I thought that, well, compared to Jacksonville, where Travis Etienne Jr. was freaking everywhere. He had a huge, like, 50 or something yard run, which was the majority of his yards, you know. But he finished the game with 19 carries, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then, you know, Trevor Lawrence didn't throw a pick. Got 1 touchdown. He did what he needed to do to win the game. So Jacksonville took the W on the road, 26-21 over the 49ers. Next game, Colts-Rams. This was a really fun game. I have to say, so my biggest caveat for kind of ranking the Colts this season, just given like Daniel Jones and, you know, all that stuff, I think the Colts are a legit team. 41, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, Puka Nacua, oh my god. This man has to be, like, he's in the conversation for, like, top receiver in the league, I swear to God. 13 receptions, 170 yards, and a touchdown. That's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, this was a fun game, though. It was kind of like a back and forth for a little bit. Relatively close, and then, they just couldn't bridge the gap. So, Rams kept holding on for the W here. 27-20 over the Colts. Next game. Oof, this was an ugly game for Ravens fans. Ravens and Chiefs. The Ravens looked bad. They looked really, really, really bad. I will caveat that. Similar to the 49ers, right? The Ravens had, I think, 7 or 8 starters injured, either coming into this game or during the game, which, like, I don't know what you're supposed to do at that point. Like, almost half your team, that's like almost the entire side of a ball, like one side of the ball, right? You think 11 players, you're at 8, like, I mean, that's crazy. And the Chiefs got, Xavier Worthy back this game. And he made a big difference. Made a really big difference. He had 83 yards receiving, which cleared up Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster to all, like, actually run. So they looked pretty good. Patrick Mahomes, unfortunately, looked pretty good too. 25 of 37 for 270 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. Offensively, the Ravens looked bad. Defensively, the Ravens looked bad. Overall, the Ravens looked bad. Kansas City won 37-20 in what was it? In a game that was never close. I'll put it that way. Like, Baltimore was leading 7-3 in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, Kansas City put up a 17 in the second, and then it was just like, it was done. Like, it was just over. It was just over. Alright. Next game. Bears, Raiders. This was a fun one. I was really hoping the Raiders would win it, but I have to say, after, like, I feel like 10 years of Chicago being right in that situation where it's like, it comes down to, like, a field goal or, like, just a last second play, and it goes, like, so far again, or, like, so far compared to what, or just, it did not go the way that they wanted, to put it very simply. I'm overcomplicating it, but, like, after so many years and so many situations where they've just been screwed, I feel like they kind of had to have a win, you know what I mean? So they finally got one that went their way, which, it was a really fun game, a little bit of back and forth. I thought Caleb Williams looked pretty decent for the defense that he was going up against. Max Crosby is just like, oh my god, that dude is crazy good. Like, I'd be scared going against that man. Oh my god. Geno Smith was throwing picks, man. 3 interceptions. Ashton Genty had a good game, though. 21 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown. He had a huge breakaway run for like 65 or 70 yards or something like that. That was pretty good. It was like the one time that they actually blocked for him and he got a touchdown. That offensive line is so bad. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Like, I saw some stat where he got hit. Oh god, what was it? It was like yards before contact or something like that. And he was like negative 1.8 or something like that. And I'm like, how? Like, he's carried the ball about, like, I don't know, 15, 20 times a game. over 4 games. And he's getting his average yards before contact is minus 1.5. He's getting hit in the backfield so many times. I'm like that's a horrible stat for an offensive line. That should be hanging in the gym for everyone to see because that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But you know what? Somehow they almost won. Yeah, it's crazy. Good game though. I thought it was fun. It was a fun game. Alright, I saved it for, well, besides the Monday night games, which I'll briefly go over. Because I haven't really watched them too much, but, oh my god, Packers, Cowboys. Boy, was this game a freaking disappointment. Oh my god. Oh my god. Going into this week, we were expected to put up about what we put up. So we put up 40 points, right? We were expected to put up 40 and hold Dallas to 2 scores maybe. The point differential was minus 30 for the Packers. At least when I saw it. I don't know. This was a week ago. But, oh my god, it was so disappointing. We were up. We had a touchdown in the first, a touchdown in the second, and then they blocked the field goal and returned it for 2. After that, it was all downhill. And within oh my god, probably, well, they scored 2 more touchdowns after that in the last, 2-3 minutes of the first half. And then it was just a shootout, just an absolute shootout. Our defense looked terrible, literally horrible. I've never been more Micah Parsons. I'm sorry, I get he was getting double teamed, but we have other people on that defense. Rashawn Gary, Kyle Vanoy, Adrian Cooper, Quay Walker. We got guys on the defense, actual legit players. And it was Swiss cheese, literally Swiss cheese. We couldn't stop them on the run. We couldn't stop them passing. And we were getting penalties everywhere, mainly on offense. But, the penalties were just insane. Our offensive line looks terrible. Literally terrible. I don't know what the hell we're doing to almost lose this game. Honestly, we should have lost this game. I don't know what they were doing in the last minutes of overtime, or the last 20 seconds in overtime, but we were so freaking lucky that there was a second left on that clock and that it wasn't incomplete. Because if it would have been a split second later, we wouldn't have time to kick a field goal and we would have lost the game. It was bad. I was so mad watching this game. I will say, Josh Jacobs, I thought, played pretty well when they actually gave him the ball to run instead of just letting freaking Matthew Golden run backwards after a catch, which I was like, what are you doing? Oh, also, Matthew Golden had that spin move punt return that I thought he was gonna die. Oh my god, he got hammered into the ground. And then he did it 2 plays later on offense. I was like, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Settle down. But yeah, Javonte Williams was running everywhere. We couldn't stop him. Dak Prescott played phenomenally. Some of those throws, he had a throw where he was running and he just chucked it 45 yards and it hit a guy. Phenomenal catch. He played really well. 31 of 40, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he took 1 sack for no gain by Micah Parsons, which was a big sack. But that was literally the only stat that Micah Parsons recorded in the entire game. A single tackle. Or a single sack. And I don't even think he had any assist. Let me look at this real quick. Micah Parsons. He had 3 total tackles. 1 solo, 1 sack. Which is I'm sorry, you're getting paid $45 million a year. I don't care if you're getting double teamed. Myles Garrett is getting the whole offensive line sent at him, and he's getting paid less than you are. You better make your freaking money. Respectfully. Jordan Love also played pretty well. Other than some interesting decisions that ended up going whatever, but they could have very easily not. 31 of 43, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Ultimately, this was an overtime thriller that ended in a tie. I still believe that, like, they just changed the overtime rules. Just change them again while it's still fresh. Change it to college. Like, literally, keep going until someone freaking wins. Ties are so stupid, especially for a game like this. Like, just make it end in a freaking victory. Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, anyways, the game ended up tying in overtime, 40-40. Just a really disappointing end for this game for the Packers. I'm sure the Cowboys were loving it, but alas. And the last 2 games are tonight, currently ongoing. Looks like, yeah, the Dolphins are going to win 27-21 over the Jets. This wasn't really a close game until, like, the last 10 minutes of this game, where they came back, I think scored 11. Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins actually looked pretty decent, I have to say. So, you know, good for them. It looks like they're kind of figuring things out a little bit more, which they really, really needed to. They really needed to. But yeah, and then the Broncos should take care of business over the Bengals. They're currently leading 21-3 with third quarter looks like it just started. There's about 11 minutes left in it, so I don't imagine that Broncos defense is going to let that Bengals offense score any more than maybe another touchdown. Maybe. Like, I would be shocked personally, but alright. Those are all the week 4 games. I thought it was a really good week. I did not predict pretty much any of them. I predicted some of them okay. There was probably 4 or 5 that I picked the completely wrong one. So, for example, Giants did not pick. The Falcons did not pick. I actually took, I believe, the Buccaneers. I think I took the Jaguars. I think I took the Rams for that. I took the Ravens to beat the Chiefs. I think I took the Raiders to beat the Bears. So I was